Hey everyone, this is a morning mobility workout. So grab yourself a cup of tea because it's not going to be strenuous. It's about getting your body ready for the day. It's going to be between 10 and 15 minutes, won't take too long. It's just trying to mobilize all the muscles throughout the body and get you set up for the day. So what you want to do, if you've got a mat, perfect. Set your feet up about hip width apart. We're going to start with the feet. To begin, let me just put my timer on so we can see how long we're doing each exercise for. So, feet about hip width apart. Try and lift your big toes only. Then the rest of your toes, then come up onto the toes. We're just going to keep doing that for approximately a minute. Try and get some mobility into that foot. Toes, the rest of the toes, and then up onto the toes. Lots of toes. Easy. Big toes, little toes, and lift. So you may find that one side is better than the other. That's fine. It will get better, but it just might mean that you've got a tightness somewhere else throughout the body. Keep lifting. I think we've got time for one more of each. Big toes, little toes, up onto the toes. Now we're going to go into the calf muscle. So you want to take one foot slightly further in front of the other. This one is just for balance. This is the one we're doing the work on, the front one. So push your knee forward, keeping your heel flat, and then back. What we're going to do is try and get some mobility into that calf muscle and ankle. So I want you to push that knee as far forward as you can while keeping that heel down, so you really feel a pull. You'll probably feel it in the middle to the center of the calf and downwards in towards the Achilles area. Keep pushing forwards. We'll do around about 30 seconds on this side. Keep the weight nice and central, but just really force that knee forwards. Not so it's painful, but just so you get a good stretch into that calf muscle. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to switch. So I'll stay this side so you can see, again, foot nice and flat. The other foot is just for balance. We'll push that knee forward, and then back. Again, you might have a slight difference between the two. That's fine. Hopefully it'll even itself out. Keep pushing. Make sure, the main thing to make sure is that heel stays flat as the knee goes forward to increase that mobility throughout. Good, just a couple more. Then we're going to take it into the hamstrings. Nice, easy one. Feet again about hip width apart. Inhale, lift your arms up, just reach back slightly, and as you exhale, fold from the hip and swoop down. So you'll feel a little pull on the back of those thighs. Only a little one. It doesn't need to be too much, but just enough for you to feel a little bit of a tug onto those hamstrings. Beautiful. We're going to go for around about 10. Swooping it down. So you just hinge from the hip. Let the arms swoop back. Exhale on the way down if you wish. 2 more. 1 more. And then relax. Now next I'm going to take my feet wide. 2 options here. Option number 1, the easier option. Place your hands on your knees, drop down into a bit of a squat, and you push your shoulder forward and turn your head backwards. So you start to get a bit of rotation through that spine, and then come the other way. Yeah. If that's too easy and you want to make it a bit more challenging, straighten the legs out and fold. Then reach across and the opposite hand reaches behind you, and then do the same here. So we're going for that rotation in the spine. I'd say aim for about 5 or 6 on each side, whichever is more comfortable. You just push and twist. You may feel it in completely different areas, so you might even want to do both. Just a few more now. Two more on each side I'm going to do. Now the next one, some of you may find a bit challenging, so you can do it with your back against the wall. That's not a problem. This one is going to be a deep squat. If that's enough, that's fine. You can just come down into a deep squat and you can hold it here, and that'll open up your hips and your ankles and your knees. And if you want a bit more work, you can twist the knee in and then switch. Yeah. Now again, you can do the same thing, but do it against the wall. Try and get a bit of more rotation into there. I'm going to do 5 on each side. You may feel that is too much, so again, just sit in that deep squat, and if you want to do it against the wall, perfect. There's 3. I'm going to do 1 more on each side, and then I'm going to take it back to my feet. So you can do these for as long as you wish. If you want to do them for longer, that's fine. If you feel that you're a little bit tight, do each exercise for a few seconds longer. That's not a problem. Hands wide. I'll move across so you can see my thumb. I want you to start with your hands flat and your thumbs forward. Turn both hands so the thumbs go back as far as you can. Yeah? You'll feel a pull here into the pec minor in the front of the shoulders. Pull it back. Then relax. Bring them all the way forward and turn the opposite way. So we're just trying to get lots of mobility through them shoulders, through the front of that chest, into the scapula, twisting it all the way back and then back. So a good number to aim for, around about 10 to 12 reps on most of these exercises is perfect. Or if you've got enough time, maybe spend a minute on each one, or just copy me. Work through it, that'll be enough, just a few reps. If you're going to do it each morning, be perfect just to wake that body up, get you feeling a little bit more loose and less tight. I'm going to do 1 more, and then I'm going to stay here, hands by my side. I'm going to work into the neck. So this one's a little bit more challenging for some of you to feel. Just relax your shoulders down. Drop your head as far as you can to one side, and then start to turn your head so your chin is towards the shoulder, and then come back. Do it again nice and gently, so you drop the ear to the shoulder first, and then when you've got that stretch here, you turn and it'll lift that stretch into the back of the neck and then come back. Nice and controlled. Don't do it too forcefully, especially if you work at a desk. This one could be quite tight, and some of you are probably working at desk even more so at the moment. Just drop it ear to the shoulder and then turn, and like I said, you'll get that pull right up into the back of the neck. I'm going to go for 5 on each side. If you feel this one's really tight, keep them shoulders relaxed each time. If you feel this one's really tight, spend a little bit longer, but never ever force it. Just go until you get a nice stretch, but don't force it too much. 1 more on each side for me. And relax. Right, come on down. So I'm going to come onto my knees for this one. Remember, I said if you've got a cup of tea, help yourself. It's not a strenuous workout. Take your time. So I want to try and get a little bit of mobility into these quad muscles. Now, for some of you, sitting like this might be enough. With just a little lean back, you may feel a decent pull into those quads. So that's fine. Do a few nice controlled reps like that. If you want a little bit more, come on up. Lean your body weight back, and then sit the bum down when you get to a point you can't go any further. Come back up and do it again. So go, 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 go until you get a nice stretch, and then drop the bum and slowly come back up. Just a nice controlled movement backwards to lengthen those quadriceps. Drop it down and lift. Again, I'm going to go for 10, so I think that's about 3 or 4. Drop it down. Lift. There's only a couple more exercises to go after this one, and then we've targeted pretty much everything in the body. Nice easy workout to do in the mornings just to get you started. I think that's 7. Should start to feel it a little bit more now, so you'll get good strength work with this one in the quads too. Some of you will find this challenging. You might not be able to go too far. That's fine. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. And I'm going to do my favourite one next. We're going to take a seat onto our bums. We're going to place our feet out in front like so. Still around about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider. Bring them in just a touch. Now what we're going to aim is to try and do is get both knees down to the floor on the same side,
and then switch. So try not to use your upper body too much. If you need to support yourself, you can. Just place the hands behind. It's about trying to get a good mobility through these hips and glutes. So as you come through to one side, you might find that you'll feel it here, or you might feel it a little bit into the quad, depending on where you're tight. One side might be really, really tight, but the other side might not be too bad. Push it down. Try not to let the body twist too much. So the hips move, but your upper body stays towards the front. So I'm really tight on my left one. Right one, not so bad. Left one, you'll see there's a lot more of a struggle for me to do. Good, I'm going to do 2 more on each side. Here we go, this one. I could definitely feel that one. Last one on each side for me. Then we've got glutes. And a little roll up for the spine. And then we're finished. So, place one leg out in front like this. So it's across the body. With the other leg, just tuck it behind anywhere that you feel comfortable. Lift your chest, hands either side of the leg, and just fold forward over that leg until you get a little bit of a pull into the glutes. Now you might not feel it there, so some of you may need to go more towards the foot on a bit of an angle. I'm going to go for around about 8. Take it so I just feel a little pull, nothing too much. Nice and controlled, never forcing anything in this workout. Just trying to get the muscle to open under controlled movement and then close again. We're going to do 2 more. Last one, and then I'm going to switch. So again, like I said, some of you may feel it in glutes, some of you may feel it in quads, you might feel it in your inner thigh. It depends really where you're going to be the tightest. Everyone is different. Switch sides, same thing. I'm going to go for 8 on this side. And we've got one more exercise to do in this workout. Done. Told you I won't get sweaty, won't get hot. No sweat workout. After I've done 2 more, we're going to roll onto our backs. And this one takes a little bit more concentration. This is for your spine. So I'm going to turn my mat slightly to the side so you can see. From here, Pilates exercise. Roll yourself down, legs at around about 90 degrees. What you need to do is tuck from the pelvis up and start to roll up through the spine, nice and controlled, keeping your head down, rolling up through the spine, and then start to roll it back down. So just one vertebrae at a time, nice and controlled. So when you get to the bottom, your pelvis is the last bit to untuck. You just drop it down, drop it down, drop it down, and then release that pelvis. We're going to do 6 of those, nice and controlled. So take your time, lift, start to roll one vertebrae at a time until you get up your hips towards the ceiling. And then start to roll it back down, nice and gently. Tailbone is the last bit to unravel. There's 2. Give me 4 more. Still nice and controlled. Don't rush them. Slowly back down. Halfway, I think. My count is not very good. Good. Last couple. Still rolling up, rolling, 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 nice and controlled. Get those hips all the way up so you get a nice straight line from the knee to the shoulder when you're at the top. Taking it down one more time. Last one. Lift.
Slowly down. There we have it. Morning mobility workout. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You can follow me, that's fine. You can do the same amount of reps. You can set a timer for say 45 seconds or 60 seconds, or you can do reps. So I'm going to do 10 to 12 reps on each exercise, whatever you prefer. Or you might decide that you want to work a little bit more on glutes or hips or something like that. So do whatever you wish, but hopefully that'll help make you feel a little bit more, open and alive in the mornings. Have fun.